Guys, first off, congratulations for your new film, and thank you for taking a little bit of your time to talk to me. I appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I feel like I
So,
saw you like 4 months or so.
yeah, I've seen you like twice in the last year and or so. So, Lily, I want to start with you. One of the things I really enjoyed about this film was seeing you take a role that's quite different from what you've done before. Mostly, especially coming off Emily in Paris. By the way, my wife and I love it, and so I can imagine that you had a blast doing this. So, acting wise, what aspect of this character did you love the most when getting to tackle her?
Well, thank you. I think this came right before season 2 of Emily, so it was a really nice, quick changeover for me to kind of balance. But I guess if you were to completely compare Emily, Emily says everything, whether it's verbally or just emotionally on her face, and she's very obvious in a lot of ways. Whereas there's so much bubbling underneath the surface with wife that she either chooses not to show or has been conditioned not to show. And throughout the story, as she starts to spiral, then starts to gain a voice. So as someone who's used to talking a lot versus not talking much at all, and then obviously the trajectory of the story is what it is and without any spoilers. So it was also interesting to play in this dramatic, dark comedy thriller space as opposed to something like an Emily, which is just off the bat comedic. It was a role that I had never played before and felt honored to get to step into the shoes of with these guys.
And you were fantastic in it. So congrats, Jesse. Again, you were wonderful as this character, the CEO. I really enjoyed seeing how, in this horrible situation, he kind of takes it like a game, trying to get to know the robber, find out why he's doing this, and trying to play him. So, how fun was it to play someone like this? And were you inspired maybe by any real CEO or billionaires out there when getting to shape this character?
It was it was a blast. I mean, truly, as I was saying earlier, after the however many months at that point of being locked down, to
Yeah.
get to just sort of play a smart baby, who just doesn't like being told what to do. And then, yeah, playing with that sort of who has the upper hand the entire time with Jason was a lot of fun. I definitely watched documentaries, clips on YouTube, and all of that, and I'm sure that wound up in there somewhere. There were some other references that weren't necessarily in that field that were maybe more inspiring to me. And then I watched a lot of that show Below Deck, which just shows that sort of tier of wealth in, I think, a pretty great way.
Jason, first off, congratulations on your new film, and thank you for taking a little bit of your time to talk to me. I appreciate it.
Of course, I appreciate you. Thanks.
So, Jason, one of the things I really enjoyed about the film is that it's not what you expect. I mean, you read the synopsis on paper, and then you see the film, and it's quite refreshing. You have story credit on this, so I wanted to ask you: was this always the plan when executing the story, and what were some of the themes that you wanted to explore with this project?
Yeah, well, I think that we definitely had a plan, and then, like all plans, life comes in and forces you to reroute, and so we were constantly rerouting. But yeah, the general theme was always the same, which is kind of addressing this feeling we were all having that something was wrong. I mean, we shot this and wrote this right during quarantine, so everyone had a lot of time to think, and no one had anything to grab onto. You were just alone with your thoughts, and everything was virtual. And we just wanted to explore that feeling of restlessness and unfairness that some people have infinite money and some people are suffering for every
Yeah.
dollar.
Yeah, and you have that feeling of being cooped in, like most of us during the pandemic. So that was really good. Another aspect I really enjoyed was watching you, Lily, and Jesse stretch your acting chops, maybe in roles that we haven't seen you do before.
Yeah,
So
cool.
was this one of the main reasons that attracted you to the project, and how was it working with Lily and Jesse?
Yeah, I mean, working with Lily and Jesse was the best, and it was so comfortable and familiar. And then at the same time, we all challenged each other, I think, in these scenes to be better, and no one quite knew what anyone else was going to do day to day. So you had to show up sharp. And yeah, I think that in terms of challenging ourselves, we all felt like if we are gonna have the luxury of making a movie on our own terms, there was no overlord. It was just us.
Yeah.
Then let's do all the stuff we always wanted to do, but don't get the chance to.